Hello, welcome, welcome. Uh, Raffi's busy working on a Bring a Trailer listing.
Good morning, everyone.
Uh, we're in a car, and the question is, what car are we in?
That's a good one.
You have to guess what car this is. I keep getting messages that we're now live. Thank you, YouTube, for letting me know. But welcome to CarYada with Raffi and Dan. I'm Dan. He's Raffi. He'll be a little distracted here and there as
I apologize for that, but I'm working on something.
he has a Bring a Trailer listing that is live that during the show will actually conclude.
Yep.
Now, because we'll be in a car, I'm not going to be able to pull it up and show everybody. We can talk about it on the next episode, but we're going to do a drive. We're going to discuss this vehicle. If you want to guess what vehicle this is, you're more than welcome to.
And don't forget to look up.
What is that, a clue?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Look up and you can
Let's
see
get the comments.
there's a clue.
But what I also like you to do, it's a weird angle we're at, by the way. Adam Jones, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
By the way, Adam, tonight I'm in Tacoma at the Tacoma Comedy Club.
Which is the closest he's ever been.
Closest I've ever been to you, Adam. So I don't know if you can make it. I'm doing a guest spot for the Taylor Williamson, Joey Bragg show. But I'll be there 2 shows tonight, TacomaComedyClub.com.
The other Taylor.
Not Taylor Tomlinson.
And not Taylor Swift.
And not Taylor Swift. And not Taylor Negron, who passed away, sadly.
Oh, I didn't know he passed
quite
away.
a few years ago. Yeah.
He was funny.
Funny guy.
Yeah.
I knew him a little bit. I had 2 friends named Taylor. Anyway, but so we are going to do this drive today. We're going to go to the car wash like we always do.
Yep.
We're going to discuss which car wash to go to because I have to pay for it either way. I don't have the sticker. I don't have the unlimited sticker on this particular car like I do on the other one. So we will go to Brown Bear. Either we'll do the touchless or the brush one.
Touchless or brush?
Right. And I will say this car does have a temporary tag on it. And it's the new paper one.
Oh, it could get.
And I worry it could get. I have an extra one that they had taped to the front window. It could get blown off in the brush one.
Yes.
The touchless one, I think it'll be fine because it is bolted on.
Yes, and actually, brushes are not bad for cars to get a car wash in general, and they're really not even brushes anymore. They're actually soft fabric and rubberized synthetic that are designed to not scratch the finish. The old ones used to scratch the finish quite a bit. The newer ones are better. But now, before we pull away, though, Dan,
Yes.
I'd like to call your attention to the marketing campaign here.
Oh, mobile auto repair. Oh, that's smart. Right on the side of the road, there's a sign.
Nobody could possibly read that. It has a phone number. I am tempted to call that phone number and say, yeah, I got a 64 Buick that is a little bit messed up on the front end. It needs a fender, a hood, probably a grill. How much cost to fix it?
Now, I guarantee that you put that there. It's bolted pretty well.
Yeah.
It looks like it's been there a while.
Yeah.
Not easy to pull down. It's
Right.
up high. And he figures someone's going to break down right here.
Right here. Do you think it's repair or body repair or
It's just mobile auto repair.
mobile auto? So he'll show up here and
Yes.
fix your car.
Now, before we go, I think we'll have a strong enough signal. I
Yes.
talked to you about a car the other day
Yes, you did.
that I'm interested in acquiring.
Yes.
And I think I want to drive by it real quick.
All right. Let's do it.
Now, we're not going to get out of the car. We're not going to, it's just going to be me and you looking at it.
Okay. We'll just
I just want to see
view it from the road
This is
side.
Raffi's reaction.
Okay.
I might be able to reverse the camera
All right.
and see what it is. But if you want to guess what car we're driving in today,
Yes. Take your best guess.
okay, take your best guess what car we're driving in right now. As you can see from the picture, it's got gray leather. It's got a nice big panoramic roof. If that helps.
Yes. Adam is Adam submitted a
Adam has already submitted, and you're right, but it's not the black one. As I was talking last week about this lease plan that I could get out of my other Polestar and get into a brand new one in what Polestar is calling their flex lease, which is amazing.
Yes.
It's a 24-month lease, but after 5 payments, you can walk away.
Which is pretty incredible because you're basically getting into a new car that you get to drive for 6 months.
Yes.
And you can decide if you don't like it after 6 months to trade it back in or deliver it back and opt for another one.
Or walk away.
Or just walk away.
And here's the great thing. The 4 is the one I wanted.
Oh, okay.
The 4 is now available for order.
Hmm.
And it comes out, they're saying fourth quarter. So
Of course,
they're probably saying December, January.
the 4 in the fourth quarter.
Right. So this is a 2. And yes, Adam, this is the brand new one. This is a 2024.
And it's in Stormtrooper white.
I went with white. I've decided I'm done being a black car guy. And I'll tell a really funny story. So I called my friend Bert the other day and I said, you know, you inspired me many years ago, back in the 90s when I went to work for him in Orlando, Florida.
You called Bert. Does that make you Ernie?
Hey, Bert.
Hey, Ernie.
But by the way, he had a college roommate named Ernie. True story. So I went to Orlando to work at the Improv Comedy Traffic School for Bert.
Which in itself is
It's
a
a
whole
long
other story.
Yeah. And
Improv
Bert had
Comedy Traffic School.
Bert had a 97 BMW 528.
97 BMW. Okay. All right.
So love that car. Still one of my favorite cars.
Yes.
I believe it's the E39 body.
That sounds right.
And it's the 97 to 2003.
Mm-hmm.
If I can get one of those as a fun daily driver, I would grab one. Black on black. And from that moment on, I said, I only want black on black cars because black on black just looks, even if you have a cheap car.
Yeah.
You get black on black. When it's clean, it's gorgeous.
Now, much as I would love to see you get a speeding ticket while we're in the middle of our show, I do want to remind you to be careful on this particular road.
Yes.
Because I know that at least 2 people I know have been speed trapped here. So
yes, I know where they sit on this road.
You should be mindful of that.
Yes, and there's a guy riding my ass, by the way.
Good. There you go.
So
that always helps.
There's a house for sale here on Bainbridge, and my wife is working on it. They sold that one right there.
Yeah.
There's her sign right there.
Very nice. Congratulations.
And there's another one right around the corner. And when I came one time to see the house, I was like, "Oh, look at this car." And
those are always fun.
Yes.
And a surprise car find.
Yes. And now these people are probably going to think I'm stalking because I drove by here yesterday. Yeah. So hopefully, like I said,
Anita, we looked at a house on this road.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
What do you think?
Wow. That's going to need some work.
Yeah. But the guy said it was his daily until he parked it. And then he lost the keys when he moved.
Do you want me to not be specific?
No, you can be specific.
Okay. This isn't bad. This is a 390.
It's the 390.
So that's rare.
It does have a door issue, obviously.
It's not as rare as this will need some work, but everything's there. The grill is there. It doesn't look like it's been pranged. That is the original paint, by the way.
Yeah.
And that's
all the wood's gone.
That turquoise metallic, I think in 68, they had a Mustang color called Gulfstream Aqua, which that looks almost identical to. If that's the factory color, that factory color and the Country Squire wagon, that's the LTD, right?
It's an LTD Country Squire 1968
with the 390.
That's a 390
car.
And
that is a valuable car.
And it's got the is this the house you looked at? And it's got the pop-up headlights.
Yes, the headlights are.
It's got the back seat that face each other in the back.
Yep, that's the optional seat.
Let me see if I can flip the camera around enough that we can show this.
Well, you want to be able to do that, but not compromise his location.
That's true.
Just in case.
I won't turn it around for that.
Yeah, but that's a solid. That car has been sitting there for a long time, but that is a solid car. It's going to need everything. It doesn't have all the.
Look what's beside it.
Yeah.
A diesel.
That's a very rare truck. But that, looking at the side of it, it looks like that might not be the original paint. It looks like it was originally blue and they painted turquoise or aqua, but that's in good shape. It's all there, but this is maybe a $1,500 car.
That's what I'm thinking.
Because you're going to spend, to make it right, you'll spend...
We'll show this in a few weeks. It might be a project car that we bring.
You'll spend a fair amount of dough to make it right.
Now, there's one I'm bringing a trailer that sold for $30,000
Yes, there's a
And
427.
it's a
sold.
390. It's a 390 with 53,000 miles.
Yeah,
It's sold for 30, and the dealer that bought it is now trying to sell it again.
yeah,
It's relisted. I looked at it yesterday. So if I spend 40 grand, this car will be worth 30.
yes.
It's one of those. But if I spend 1,500 to 2 grand now, and I make it a nice runner, and throw a Mako paint job on it, maybe put the wood paneling on, maybe not.
It's all available, I believe.
Yeah, and the guy says it was his daily driver up until when he moved, and I think he moved from there. He doesn't live there anymore,
Okay.
and he lost the keys.
He doesn't have the keys. Well, that's
Can't find the keys.
It's a simple fix because $200 for the locksmith, because or you could just pull the key and the tumbler and the whole thing and get a whole new key kit.
Right.
Because they make them. They're the same key for a Mustang or a Fairlane or any of the Ford products from the late 60s. And the key, the ignition for it is not a big deal. But you can, a locksmith can match the key that's in the system now.
And that way the doors, well, I think it had 2 different keys back then, didn't it? Or did Ford always do the one
No,
key?
Ford had single key in 68, I believe.
Now,
the door and the ignition key are the same. The tailgate one might be a different key.
And it has the magic gate.
Yes,
where
with the drop down
it'll open up or it'll drop down.
Yeah, that's very
that was like
cool.
a big deal back then. Now, the guy, when he said, so we don't waste each other's time, what are you willing to pay? And I'm like, I don't know. I need to see it. What are you looking for? Well, let's discuss when you get here.
Yeah.
So now this guy might be totally off his rocker.
He's probably off his
He may
rocker.
think it's a $5,000 or $6,000 car as it sits.
No.
And I would say if it had a key, if the door wasn't strapped shut like it is, which means it's slightly open, which means water's gotten in.
Yeah.
And if it had the hubcaps, it's got no hubcap. Now he might have taken them off and they're sitting in it. I don't know. A good pressure wash will make that car look
100% better.
100% better. And I look forward to pressure washing it if we get it. So, and the good thing was my wife was like, "Oh, that's awesome. You should get it." And when I hear that, that's awesome. You should get it. That's what happened with this car.
That opens the door.
I got the go ahead. Now Ray says, what does he say there? I don't know if you can you?
Yeah. Ray says,
rebate, rebates, love them.
Oh, there
yes.
you go.
Did you get? By the way, Ray, did you end up getting your EV? Because what started me also, we were talking about that Toyota last week. Every dealer I reached out to either never got back to me or they didn't have. Why am I talking so loud? I'm like, this car is so quiet.
It is quiet. I'm sorry. I'm in the middle of something.
Raffi's got, in case you're just joining us, Raffi's got a listing right now on Bring a Trailer. It's this orange, customized.
It's Curtis 500S.
Curtis 500S, which
rocket ship fast car. Unbelievable.
But is it as fast as this?
No, I gotta admit that's very fast. I wasn't ready for that. Now my neck hurts.
Yeah, I gotta get my balls back in position. Woo!
Wow, that is something. And that's why we're already rolling.
Yeah.
Imagine what's standing still and straight start. What is the 0 to 60 in these now?
This one is 4.1, I believe.
Good grief, that's insane.
This one has more horsepower and torque than mine as a base. The one I got. So here's the whole story. Polestar, as I mentioned last week, reached out and said, we're doing a pull ahead program. You've got 6 months left on your lease. If you want to bring it in, get a new one, you can walk away now. So I reached out to the local dealership for Polestar on Monday, and they gave me a number.
Nice.
And they were giving me a whole whopping $500 off, plus the $7,500 federal credit.
Right.
Well, that wasn't enough. So I hit them back with another number, and they hit me back with another number, and we made a deal. My monthly payment went up slightly, but I had 6 months left on my lease, and this is what Polestar calls their flex lease. It's 24-month lease, but you can get out after 5 payments. So I can still get out the exact same time I would have got out of the other one.
And your payment went up by about $100, you said?
A little less.
Okay.
Give or take. Before tax.
All right.
Pre-tax. Sales tax you have to pay on each payment with the lease.
Okay.
So the payment went up a little bit, but I figure, you know what? It's worth it to have a brand new car for the next 5 months. Raffi thinks I'm going to keep this car anyway.
I think so.
Which I probably will.
It's a great looking car.
It really is. And I have leather seats, and the leather in these are somehow animal welfare friendly.
Animal welfare friendly.
I don't know what that means. Napa leather. Don't know what that means either.
That means that it comes from drunken cows that drink too much wine.
And
Napa Valley.
They're sideways.
Yeah.
And it also has, is Napa 2Ps or 1P?
1P.
This is 2Ps.
Oh.
It's like NAPPA, I think.
Napa.
Napa. And
that's French.
How did that car get over there?
I don't know. That's a good question. Accident, maybe.
Yeah. And it has cooling seats as well as heated seats, which I really love.
The seats are very comfortable in this
Much
car.
more comfortable. Their loaner car that they have at Polestar, whenever I've gone in for service, and by the way, the service has been impeccable.
At Polestar?
At Polestar Bellevue. Big shout out to them.
Okay.
Jimmy, who runs the service department, has always been. His name's Jimmy Stewart. I know. I walked in and he goes, now here's the deal with your car, you see. You got no engine. It's all electric, you see.
Do you think people know who Jimmy Stewart is anymore?
I don't know.
But that's a good impression.
It's a wonderful life.
It's a wonderful life. And by the way,
yes.
Among the many things I like about this car, in addition to the ride quality, the material quality and the interior build is absolutely fantastic.
Well, it was Volvo. This was a Volvo prototype.
It's
car.
As good as any mass production high-end car. And it should be pointed out that this comes with Harman Kardon stereo with, you basically got a full active touch screen here, leather seats, and the exterior of this car, the design, I think is a very, very effective package for most driving uses. The back seat is actually very spacious. I was surprised. You have to dip your head down to get in.
It seems way more spacious than the other car, even though the other car I had was black on black. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, this feels roomier, even though the dimensions are exact. This is the 24. The other one was a 21. The other one was the launch edition. It was the first. They prepackaged a whole bunch of them for when they launched in North America.
Right. Well, they may have improved some interior dimensions. A lot of times, just incremental improvements, including space in the back. It could be they redesigned the seat, the foam thickness, the framing, so that you get a little more room. They could, have installed some incremental changes based on customer suggestion. I don't like to use the term complaint.
Yes.
But, yeah.
And the reason, so I went black on black forever. We got a lot of comments. We'll do it once we get to the car wash because I can't read.
It's hard to read them.
So the reason, so I went black on black forever. And I think the last car I had that wasn't black on black, that was a car I owned, not like something I was, driving temporarily, or, I had a car rental business for a little while. So I had a bunch of different cars. Those weren't all black on black. The DeLorean obviously was not black on black. It was silver on black. Mm. And so my friend Bert, who I always,
hey Bert,
I was always inspired by that car. And then he replaced it with a 2005 40.
Yes.
BMW.
Nice car.
That when I was living in New Orleans, he also had a house in New Orleans. And when he was out of town back in Orlando, he let me drive his car. And it was amazing how differently I was treated when I was driving that car versus my crappy, what did I have there? I had a Corolla. And again, my Corolla back then was a green on beige.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure, I guess it was 2001 is when my black on black started. And it was an 01 Monte Carlo. I got the two-door Monte Carlo. I had the leather added because I think they were doing like $1,000 credit. You could add to any. You could do wheels, or you could do leather.
You had a Monte Carlo.
I had the two-door Monte Carlo. My wife, when we met, that's what I was driving, and she's like, "What are you, a serial killer?" And I traded that in on a black Hyundai 350 XL or whatever it was called.
You've had them all.
And then I traded that in on, what did I get rid of that for? Oh, I sold it to my neighbor and I got a black Prius.
Well, your fascination with black cars, I actually have gone in the reverse. I've only owned one black car because
You're racist.
because I don't. They're constantly requiring cleaning, even after
Yes.
you wash them.
Yes.
5 minutes later, you can see dust on them.
Yes, but when they're clean, they're the best looking car.
They do look spectacular.
White actually looks cleaner, longer.
Yes, and it's easier to repair if you're in an accident. It's easier to match the color. It's easier to blend it. All of that stuff. But I had only one black car, and you mentioned being treated differently when you drive that car. It was a Bentley.
Oh well, yes. Of
And
course.
oh my gosh,
How much Grey Poupon were you given?
I carried Grey Poupon.
Did you?
Yes, I did. Absolutely. It was back when that was a thing.
People would say, "Do you have any?"
say,
Yes, I do.
And I'd go, here.
For me to coupon.
Great car.
So then,
1954 Bentley
and
with
then
the tan interior. Oh,
sounds
beautiful.
gorgeous.
Beautiful.
So then my good friend Bert,
Hey, Bert.
he got a nice Lexus IS 250 convertible, and it was in white with a tan interior. I think it had a tan interior. And I made a joke to him, and I said, "Did they make that car in a color for men?"
Oh.
And I didn't realize it affected him because he traded it and went back to a black on black. Because I said black on black's the only way to go. And so when I told him yesterday I went white, he's like, "Son of a! I got rid of my white car because of you." I go, "I've only driven black cars because of you."
That's funny.
So I found him a white one in San Diego, and I said, "Go get this one." He goes, "Are you going to stick?" I'm sticking with white. I'm going to be a white. Maybe I might go silver, but I really like this white car. And as you'll see, it does look a bit like a Stormtrooper. How's the auction going, by the way?
It's going quite well. The numbers are coming up. We're at 38,500.
38.5.
16 minutes to go. And Fast Fred said, surprised the bidding isn't at least twice as high. Guess this kind of fun doesn't interest the market.
Wow.
Or this market, excuse me. Okay. Larry Redmond, who was bidding 4 years ago, worldwide auctions sold the Brock Yates Curtis for north of 100K. Good.
Good comment.
Yes.
And if he's bidding, that's also, that means he
was bidding.
He thinks it's worth at least that.
It would be nice to sell this car today. We'll see if that's a possibility. Now,
no, I'm going to do the brushless. I'm not going to do the brush one.
Okay.
So we're not going to pull into the regular brown bear that we normally go through the tunnel wash.
Yes.
They have a brushless, which is about to, they're going to build one on Bainbridge, which will make this trip way easier.
A brushless one?
Yes, they're going to put it in the brushless. You pull in, the garage door closes on you, and the thing goes around you.
Yeah.
And spritzes.
Now, is that going to be a brown bear?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, they own Jake's.
Yes.
Where Jake's pickup is located, and across the street used to be the Chevron station that they also own. The other thing that's amazing with this car is it's completely empty. I did something I usually don't do. Normally, when I go trade in a car, a lot of times it's been a spur of the moment thing, and so I just take everything that's in my car and I put it in the new car. And I didn't. So what I did in the other car is I completely emptied it. I showed up with nothing in the car, and I picked up this car with nothing in it. So the back hatch completely empty. I do have a jacket sitting in the back seat, but overall, I have a new goal to try to keep. All right, let's see. Bellevue Lex, they have 58 EVs. 120 only works in Japan, not America. What a POS. We decided we're going with the Tesla. Everyone hates the Toyota BZ4. Terrible reviews. And the Lexus EV is a nightmare with 120-mile actual range. Wow.
A little bright out there. I'm going with the shades.
Does any maker have key patterns noted by VIN for ordering replacements? Typically, no, because then somebody could just make a copy. They could copy the VIN and just make a key.
Right. In fact, to get a duplicate key, you have to, especially the complex contemporary keys, you have to get them from the dealer.
They're like laser cut, or they're the digital key. This has, when I got my first Polestar, I got two big keys that look like the Volvo key, and then what they call an activity key, which is a little waterproof. You can keep it in your shrimp trunks and always have a key on you.
Yeah.
And, but they also have a digital key on your cell phone.
Yeah.
So as long as my phone's with me, my car, I can operate everything. And this also has a couple of cool features that my other one didn't have. This has an air purification system.
I feel as though it's pure in here.
Yes. Now I can hit an air quality button and close the door, and it'll refresh the air.
Even if you fart in it?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's great. You can fart, get out of the car, and clean it. Or if you maybe accidentally spill some.
Because you know that's exactly what every guy thinks.
Yes.
When they hear about air purification.
Yes. Adam says, speaking of auctions, one of the stores I service for work is by Jeff Stokes. I know Jeff Stokes.
Oh, the Stokes auctions, sure.
His family owned that. They sold it, but his father started Stokes Auto Auction, and Jeff is an auctioneer at Mannheim and DAA and Odessa, and he also was doing I don't know if he still does. He was doing the auction for CarMax in Portland, and I remember he and his son were both there.
That's what we should do. We should start an auction company. We spend so much time around cars. We should have.
Well, I right now have a non-compete that wouldn't allow me to do that since I work for a company that owns Mannheim.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean you can't start one.
And hire you.
Yeah. I'm available.
You'll be a silent consultant.
I could come on board as you'd have to pay me more than I'm making and give me a lifetime guarantee.
Lifetime?
Yeah, because if I'm going to give up, Cox Automotive is a fantastic company. Right, so here we go, pulling up.
All right. Let me see how we're doing here. I don't want this thing to.
Credit card and mobile pay only. Hopefully nobody's in the booth right now. There's one car in there. Okay, good. Okay. This is good. You can answer some questions and then we can jump in the booth.
Look at this. Oh, and you can do your own car too.
Yeah, this is what they're putting on Bainbridge.
Oh, that's close.
I've got a camera.
Side camera, yeah.
All right.
Let's see how we do here.
Turn this noise off.
Wash in progress. Everything's all.
Pick an option from right there on the screen.
There you go.
Right here on the screen. Use your finger.
Option. What Dan is doing now is he's punching in. Can I have fries with that? So the washes here are actually pretty reasonable. $15.
Oh my God, I can't get the card.
You can't get the card out.
I'm trying to use a
color shine is $12. So you have $9, $12, and $15 car wash.
There it goes. I'm trying to use a gift card.
One of my buddies bought. He bought a car wash in Florida, and it was one of these coin-op car washes, and I can't remember what he paid for it. I think it was like 50 grand. And I said, "That's crazy. How are you going to make 50 grand back at a car wash?" And
he's like, "What month do you want me to make it back in?"
And he made it back in 16 months. And he was so surprised how effective it was. He ended up buying like 5 or 6 of them. And that was his income for years until he decided to put it all into a single entity and sold it to somebody else for well over $1 million.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Car wash.
This is great when I do little flips or whatever. I've got my little pickup truck. I bring it here, get nice pressure wash, clean the engine, get the wheels all cleaned up.
Yeah.
All right. So we have some things in the comments we can look at now.
Let's take a peek.
Are we ready to do the key pattern? Going with Tesla. Now, Tesla does have some great lease plans. You can get the Model Y. They just dropped the price again.
On the Y?
$29,000.
Wow, that is pretty good.
And if you load one up, and I priced it out because comparing this to that, I wanted the performance model all-wheel drive. I could have got my lease payment for less than I'm paying for this and got a Tesla.
But do you want a Tesla?
I don't. That's the problem.
That's the problem, right.
Dan's insurance agent said red cars tend to cost more in coverage because they're being sporty.
Yeah.
Now, when I did insurance for a minute in LA, I worked for Farmers Insurance, and that was not true with Farmers. Color did not matter. But they do say that red cars get tickets more often and because they're more visible. I don't know if that's also a thing. And there, we caught up on all the comments. If you have any questions, you can put them in the comments. Right now, we're in Paulsbo, Washington. We're at the Brown Bear self-serve.
Yes.
and we're going to go into the touchless car wash.
But if this takes longer than 10 minutes,
Oh, it won't take longer than 10 minutes.
okay. All right.
I think we'll have signal in there too.
You think so?
We should.
It's a concrete building.
Well, if the show goes off, then you're going to have to jump out.
I'm gonna have to jump out in the middle of the
It
car
won't take more than
wash.
10 minutes.
All right.
There's no way it could take that long because there'll be a line out the. Yeah, I bet you it's a 5-minute wash.
All right. I'm going to pop out anyway.
Are you really?
Yeah. Because I don't want to lose this.
All right.
And I have to. All right. You're on.
I'll
Dan.
be all on my own for the car wash.
Let's see if Dan can entertain the
'Cause,
masses.
Yes, we don't want
during my absence.
Yeah, we don't want a Curb Your Enthusiasm episode where
Right.
Larry got stuck in a car wash and had to get out. So here I am. So you can see the cool pattern in the leather. The seats, like I said, they're heated and cooled. Okay, here comes the door is opening. Okay, I'm pulling in. Oh, shoots me from the bottom. If your undercarriage is a little housey as well. What movie? Anyone? Stop there. All right. Now the doors are about to close on me, I think. Well, they haven't closed yet. Oh, now the back door is closing. I guess it's not a front door. I thought the front and back closed. So, Ray, I would always lease an EV because if Elon gets a bug up his ass and decides he wants to make them 19 grand, you just lost 10,000 in equity. But whatever you pay on the lease, you're turning it in anyway. So I would lease an EV. And here's something also I talked about. Somebody asked me this the other day. The thing of doing a lease, what car should they get? And I said, you know what? If you're doing a 2 or 3 year lease, there's not a brand out there I wouldn't recommend. You can get a Kia, you can get a Hyundai, you can get, they still make Suzuki anywhere. All cars are pretty good for the first 2 years, 2 or 3 years. All of them. The way manufacturing is now, Raffi might argue with me on this, but he's not in here. He's off working on his thing. But if you had the option of any car, if it's a new car, you're good for 2 or 3 years. So you do a 3-year lease, maintenance is usually included. On EVs, there really is no maintenance. I mean, the brakes on, when I had the Tesla S back in 2013, I forget what year I sold it. It was after 4 years. So like 2017, I think I sold it. It had 89%, I think, brake level still with 40,000 miles. Those are the original brakes after 4 years and 40,000 miles, because you just don't use the brakes aren't used as much because the motor actually slows the car down, regenerative braking. So that's exciting. There are only, I think, 20 moving parts on an electric car versus 2,000 on a regular car. So a lot more to brake. But yeah, for EVs, you can't go wrong no matter what you get. Go for whatever the lowest monthly is. Now, I did notice, Ray, you'll be interested to see this, that the Subaru version of the Toyota BRZX2 4398, whatever it's called, stupid name, by the way. I don't know why Toyota would do it. What is it? It's BZ4X. Now they might have battery. Z4 might be, it's a 4-door, and of course over in England they call it a Z4. And then the X is all-wheel drive. Maybe that's what that means. I don't know. But what I think is you've got the Solterra by Subaru is the exact same car. They're now available at Hertz. Hertz obviously bought a bunch for the rental fleet. I just realized Raffi's microphone, I can't hear if he's talking, and he probably doesn't realize his microphone is on. So if anybody can hear Raffi talking, let me know. Maybe he's on the phone, and that would be horrible. I can't turn his microphone off on this little thing. That's kind of funny. Hope he doesn't go to the bathroom. I'm gonna hit my windshield wipers real quick, even though you're not supposed to. So we're fully sudsed up now. You can see all the suds in. So you could get the Subaru version at Hertz with 20,000 miles on it for like 23,000. I think I saw. It's a 2023. So that's another option if you're going to buy. But I would recommend leasing to be. You're locking in the value. You can walk away at the end. And if they go up in value, if all of a sudden Tesla somehow becomes worth way more, then you're going to have, you have a huge windfall. So let's say, Tesla says we're going to stop making cars, and everybody wants them now. Then your buyout is 20 grand, and they're worth 30. Yeah, you just made 10 grand. So that's a good thing about the lease. It's like a house, Ray. It's like a lease option on a house. If the value goes down, you walk away. If the value goes up, you take the equity. I'm getting the spot-free rinse now. By the way, this has your cleansing, your cleaning, your washing, your tri-foam, your sealant, and now I'm getting the spot-free. Adam says, I've never used the brushless, the Brown Bear before. Looks neat. It is. It's kind of cool. You can just sit in it and have this happen. Now I've got 54 seconds for the blow dry. You have to time this just right. So you can make sure you get the whole car blown. Now, this might get loud. It's pretty, considering how loud it is outside, in here it's pretty quiet. Now we're going to have to get on the freeway and drive fast to really get this dried off, I think. All right, 11 seconds left. Getting the back side of it. We'll take a look at the car after I pick Raffi up here, and we go for a drive. Because it didn't dry it that well. It doesn't really dry it that well.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So I think we get on the interstate. We'll dry it off that way.
There you go. It's not very dry. So our bidding is at 40,299.
Wow.
So it's getting up there. And we just hit 41,000.
This is a fun auction. I wish we could put it on screen right now.
Yeah, it's a little hard to do that while
look at this. There's another electric car right behind me.
Yeah, that's the Fiat.
The EV6. Oh, no, that's a Sportage. The EV6 is also a very nice car. Our friend Martin just got one.
Oh, Martin got one?
Yeah. And
I haven't seen Martin in a while.
I know. But here's the thing I also always do when I by the way, if you were talking at all, your microphone was on. I don't know if you said anything. You didn't call anybody, did you, when you were standing outside?
No.
Because it's still, I didn't see it moving, but I was like, uh-oh.
Oh, you could hear the sounds. No,
I can't hear it because I
was like, oh, damn it.
Yeah.
No,
I thought you were on the phone with the guy saying, okay, here's the reserve. What should we lower to? Don't give away the secrets.
I already got some secrets.
Brand new bring discount tire just opened.
Oh, it just opened.
Yeah.
Oh, so nice to have it up here now, so you don't have to go to Silverdale.
Yeah.
But that's a good opportunity to remind everybody that check your tires periodically. We tend to forget that tires are often neglected. Air pressure, your tire pressure, check that regularly. Make sure they're up to the proper tire pressure, because that will improve your gas mileage and it makes your car safer. Your tires are actually part of the brake system and suspension in your car. Good tires are cheap now.
This man knows what he's talking about.
I'm telling you.
So yeah, discount tire is awesome. What I usually do is I go on Amazon. I order my tires, have them shipped directly to Greenlight Garage. Our good friend Nick at Greenlight Garage.
Nice guy.
And then I pay him a little fee to put them on.
Yeah.
And then he disposed of the old ones. Now, sometimes though, I try to price them out. And I say, all right, well, if I go to Walmart, because they usually have pretty good deals on tires, and or Discount Tire. With Discount Tire, you get their roadside kind of warranty. You get a flat, you get a hole in it. You can bring the tire in. They'll help you out with it. If you just have your check tire pressure light comes on, let's just get around these people real quick.
Boy, this thing is fast.
I know. It is. And it's got like 584 foot-pounds of torque.
That's phenomenal.
And 440 horsepower. And this is not the performance model, which upgrades that quite a bit. So here's what I always like to do when I negotiate is I always want to get something at the very end. I always ask, and I know I've mentioned this before, but I'll say, we get to our final number. I'll say, can you throw in a blank? And I usually ask for a hat. Can you throw in a hat? And if they hem and haw, you got a good deal. If they immediately go, yeah, absolutely. There's still some money on the table. There's still some juice in the lemon. And as you can see, I have my Polestar hat now.
Is that the juice you got?
I got a little juice. They did. It was sitting in the car when I picked up the car, which was awesome. And like I said, if you're looking to get an electric car, it's the first time I think I've ever gone back to back. I know it's the first time where I've replaced my car with the same car. I've never done that before because I love car shopping. I love getting something new and different. And I did like my Polestar, and now I have a white one, which once we dry it off in on the interstate.
You want to
I'll get over
a walk
after
around?
We'll do a walk around.
Good.
Now, somehow it's already 42 minutes into the show. And obviously, because your thing was supposed to end at 10:39, it's getting bids.
It is done.
Oh.
It did not meet reserve.
Oh.
Yeah. But we'll see if we can work something out.
Was it close enough that the person with their 5% might be willing to
It's
step
possible. Yeah. Because the high bid was 41,000. You had 5% on that, so they're at 43. It's possible they may come up
a little bit more
to get the purchased. So
that's a sad situation because it's a cool little car.
It is,
and it should have got more than that.
It should have gotten much more, but they just didn't show up.
How was the view to watch ratio?
It was good for the longest time, but then as the auction started to get to the close, fewer people were watching, and it dropped. It was below 10%.
That's your magic number.
10% is the on auctions with reserves. You usually will look for 20% on auctions with no reserve. And this car did very well, very strong out the gate. But I think the people that like and want that kind of car just didn't show up, and it is an unusual car. This is why Porsches tend to sell more rapidly, and other cars that are well known. They just have the advantage of many more people. And when you have more people, the competition gets higher. And with competition, you get higher bids. So that's the summary.
There you go. All right. So we're going to dry the car off real quick. Give it a nice air dry.
Mm-hmm. Give it an Italian tune-up.
I believe it's pronounced Italian tune-up.
There you go.
So there's a guy on TikTok. Oh, there's also our friend Radical Ray, who's got really funny videos on TikTok about cars and what a piece of shit some of them are. But there's another guy that does this whole thing, and he's always, here are websites you need to know, number 432. And he always mispronounces a word. And I'm like, what an idiot. And then I realized he does that on purpose because then people comment.
Oh, right.
Italy. It's Italy, you moron.
Which is clever.
Yeah, or he shows a picture. The one I saw today, it showed a picture from RoboCop. And he goes, oh, look, the Terminator. And all the comments are like, that was RoboCop, you idiot. And I'm like, oh, my God, look how many comments he's getting because he did that.
That's smart.
Yeah.
He gets the action. You know, it's like what is it they say? Any press is good press.
Yeah.
You know, regardless of what. Yeah. So again, here we're doing 70 miles an hour on the highway, and smooth, steady.
And if all of a sudden we need to pass somebody,
That's insane.
we're at 90 right now.
Insane.
Just like that.
It's insane how quick and efficient, and it's crazy. I mean, I have to give a lot of credit to contemporary electric cars because they're phenomenal. They really are. And a lot of that is shouting out to Tesla. Tesla really pushed the industry to build electric cars that were well engineered and high performing. And you know, it's a shame that electric cars are so resource intensive because it takes a tremendous amount of energy to build electric cars. So I don't know that they are necessarily fuel efficient in the long run, because electricity has to come from somewhere. There's only so much energy. You can't make energy.
Oh, solar power. You can. I mean, most Tesla charging stations do have solar panels, and they are capturing a ton of solar power.
That's true, but people think that it's just a simple matter of setting up these panels and sucking up the sun. It's a little more complicated than that. And you know, photovoltaic cells and all the engineering and the manufacture for that is not cheap. It's largely been subsidized by governments, and so because of that, the prices come down to where it's cost effective to manufacture them and have them available to people for their use. But they take up tremendous amounts of resources. These facilities have to have plumbing. They have to have water systems in place. They have to be the mechanics, the electronics have to be cooled in places where the climates are quite warm. And then people say, well, how about things like wind and wind turbines? Okay, these things also take a tremendous amount of energy to manufacture. There's significant engineering, there's infrastructure associated with it, repairs, all kinds of things like that. And while they are helpful and beneficial to reducing petrochemical burning engines, which have negative impact due to emissions, electric cars don't have specific emissions from the source, but there are other emissions that happen.
Yes.
We're, you know, as a country, the United States imports a lot of in fact, most of the materials required to manufacture an electric car, which includes a lot of rare EMs, you know, lithium and all the other.
You know the one EM I hate. I'm tired of it being overused.
Which EM?
Unobtainium.
Unobtainium.
When people can't get a part for their car, oh, that's unobtainium. I'm like, oh, come on, that's so overused now. Now, I also think that Elon Musk he really screwed himself by becoming not a friend to the left wing, the Democratic Party, or the people that were the tree huggers, so to speak.
Yeah.
Because now they're like, I don't want a Tesla. He sullied the name by becoming who he is, which we've talked about before, and I think that hurts.
I think it does hurt. I think it's hurt their image overall. I think more people would have bought Teslas, but realistically, how many more? 10% more? 20% more? Probably not. I think the people that are making their product purchase decisions based on the politics of a CEO is minimal. It does have impact. I think it has impacted people who may have been cultivating an interest in his product but have turned off because he's become outspoken in subjects that he probably we'd be better off just simply avoiding.
Yeah.
I don't mind people having opinions, but when they use their platform for opinions that are going to change their market, I always find it interesting because it identifies how the market has changed when the brand focus has moved to a different direction. We've seen this with Tiger Woods, for example. Tiger Woods had a fantastic brand, enormous scale of opportunity, and continued branding resources from his licensing work. Like Michael Jordan, who made more money off the court than he did on the court,
Right.
which doesn't
Or
take
like
away from
Caitlin Clark, this player from Iowa, this basketball player.
Yes.
She signs with the WNBA for basically $78,000 a year.
Right.
But she gets an 8-figure Nike contract.
Right. And this doesn't take away, by the way, doesn't take away from their skills and capabilities and their excellence in the sport. Tiger Woods was a phenomenal golfer. Even in his non-competitive careers when playing, still a phenomenal golfer. But he made some mistakes, and those mistakes cost him substantial future resources. So, the buying public is pretty fickle. Once they buy something, they want to continue to believe in that product. If you found out, for example, that this Polestar was made compromising child labor.
Well, it is made in China.
Well,
I mean,
it's made in China, but understand that China has a different standard for their labor requirements.
right. They're not. Once you hit 12, you're no longer a child.
Right.
Once you hit 8, you're a teenager. So I guess at 5, like putting the steering wheel cover on is okay.
Well,
It was Volvo. I mean, Volvo got bought out by Geely, which is a huge, by a billionaire guy from China.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we'll go to the Walmart parking lot so we have room, and then we'll finish the show there.
That sounds good. Yeah. So, like it or not, the American public and I think world public in general, they form their product affinities based on the leadership and the character of a company's CEO, and so it does make a difference when someone like Elon Musk, who does have a substantial public footprint, makes statements that some of his potential buyers might not necessarily like.
I think the Cybertruck is almost like seeing a MAGA hat. I mean, seriously, I think when you see the Cybertruck, you immediately have assumptions about that person.
Well, that's an interesting
that you shouldn't have.
I would not necessarily go that far, but I do think that because of Trump's political position, I think his cars are seen differently now.
Trump's?
Because of that. I'm sorry, because of I said Trump.
I didn't know he had a car.
Musk. Well, they're both. Well, hey, I won't say that. Anyway, not to politicize, we've got some comments that we should probably poke at before
we're going to pull over here, find a little spot
hop out
in the garage here, or the parking lot that we can.
We love the Walmart parking lot.
There's usually lots of room.
Yes, and Walmart is known for offering safe parking overnight. If you're traveling long distance and need a safe place to pull over, you can still connect on their Wi-Fi. Their parking lots are large, and they're patrolled by security personnel, so it's a good place to pull over and get some sleep. You never want to do that on the highway,
right?
But always pull over if you feel tired. So,
couple quick questions. Dan says, "Why would the local DMV here not recognize original '55 Chevy pickup title when seeking to switch ownership? Is it that common for older cars? I was told they need to reconstruct the title on the computer. Problem is, it doesn't have a 17-digit VIN. 1981 and forward, all cars had the standardized VIN, and because of that reason alone, what we used to do at the auction is we would just put X's up until the beginning of the VIN. So if it was like a 9-digit, we would put XXXXXXX for, what would that be? Eight X's, and that would put it in the system so that it would have it. That's usually why that happens.
So the other thing I can recommend, Dan, is it's about $35 more. Just go to a specialized licensing service and not the government-run one. And these folks have you pay a $35 service fee, they'll process it like that. They don't care because they're doing their processing manually. And
Now,
these
Dan's in
places,
Oregon. I don't know if they have this in Oregon.
they should.
They might not. Some states are all 100% state run.
The other thing you
Ooh,
can
almost saw an
do,
accident. That was fun.
that was close. He could also transfer it. He could sell it to someone.
Yep.
And then that someone could be in another state, and then you can
Create a title.
create a title in that state. And so that's a possibility. But I would check to see if there's an independent licensing agency you can go to and see if they'll do that, because that's
Yes. And Adam asked if Tesla stock, it did take quite a bit of a hit.
yes.
And Ray says, you guys going to be driving by affordable used cars and trucks in Bremerton, where America shops for value and not one POS on the lot.
America shops for
Our
value.
good friends over at Affordable Auto in
Yes.
Bremerton. Ben,
Do they have?
they are affordable.
They are affordable. Yes. Now, Ray, do you have a car of the week for us?
Well, we don't have time for that.
Oh, we don't have time.
No,
Wow, we went through an
have
hour.
4 minutes left.
Okay.
All right, so here's
Let's
what
go
we're going
around.
to do.
We'll do a walk
We're
around.
going to walk around of the car real quick here. Let me change the camera angle. Settings, camera, and we'll do. There we go. So here's Raffi. There he is. Are you ready? Here we go.
All right. So the first thing that comes to mind, that came to mind when I saw this car, was this is a Stormtrooper.
Well, if you see the front, yeah, it looks like a Stormtrooper.
There's no doubt in my mind they were looking at the Stormtrooper masks when they designed this car. They designed the front of the car. This especially in white, and it's appliance white, which is really bright, but really nice details here. Again, it's an electric car, so there's no grill.
My car had the black grille. Up at the 23, the 21, 22, 23 has a black, like a honeycomb grille.
Yeah.
This has a mid-range radar. It's got an upgraded radar system.
Yeah.
For the auto drive, the
I
little bit
would
of
be
auto drive it
tempted,
has.
as a designer, I'd be tempted to paint this section out in black just to
Well,
see
that's
what
how
it
the
looks
original
like.
was. That's how mine was. It was black.
Yeah, but was it that way on
All
all
of
the
them.
cars?
Yeah, they were all
Okay.
black. My thought was put some LED lights right across there.
There you go.
Make that nice. Now this has what they call the 5V pattern wheel.
Great looking wheel. I love that wheel design. It's really, really aggressive. These are tall tires.
20
too.
inch.
20-inch wheels.
Yes,
That's
that's
insane.
19 is the standard. This is the upgrade.
Yeah.
But you can see if you look at the brake, there's a little bit of rust. I've been trying to get that off. You can't use the brakes enough to clean off the brake, the
It's
rotors.
just that you only have 80 miles on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll come off. If you take a 300-400 mile trip, that'll come off.
So the tag, you can see it survived.
Yeah.
The paper tag.
Great looking rear end on this car. It's got the hatch. It's got the four-door.
And here's what's great with the hatch. You do this. Watch this. Here we go.
you get the foot thing.
Put your foot under, and the hatch opens right up.
Look at that. See, this is a really nice quality vehicle.
Front bracket they offered to put on. I said no. I think this
And you put the seats down,
oh yeah,
and you can put probably
and this comes
5
off.
foot of it's 5 foot of space there. And will it? Oh, it didn't stop. It didn't have a hand sensor.
No, if your hand touched it, it would have stopped.
Oh, okay.
And then the back seat,
Plenty of space.
with my jacket.
Plenty of room there. It's a great looking
It's got
car.
heated seats in the back. It's got plugs for the back seats too, if you want to plug
Yeah.
in your accessories.
And is this standard or is that optional?
That's
on
up.
this
That's
one?
an option. You can get with the roof or without.
Yeah.
The glass roof. Obviously, they all have roofs.
I'll tell you one thing I don't like, and I think it's cheap, and I
Yeah.
think you can take it off. That.
Sticker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could take that off.
It's just, to me,
You know why I like it?
why?
So people can see what the hell the car is. It's the only place that says what the car is.
Yeah, but put a badge.
I know.
Make it look quality.
I mean, they
Make
have
it
this
look like
badge.
this.
Yeah.
You know, it just looks cheap. It looks like a sticker that goes on the side of the box.
And the other thing that's cool in the back, I forgot to mention, other than having the foot thing,
Yeah.
is it's got this.
Oh,
You've got hooks to
Yeah.
hook your bags, or
Yep.
strap something in. You've
Sure.
got a strap over here. You've got a power outlet
Yeah.
here.
That's nice.
And then you also have
Well, there's a fair amount of
storage under
space down
here,
there.
and you got your storage. You got your charging cable that I'll never use because I already have one at home.
That's good because you can park some valuables down there and not worry about somebody stealing.
Yeah.
Or at least not trying to steal. But it closes off really nicely in here.
And then it also has
Does it have that feature for the front?
what's that?
Does it have the foot feature for the
It
front?
does not,
Okay.
because if you drove over something, no, I wouldn't do it. My dog sometimes will run underneath, and if I'm near it, it will actually open the back hatch when she runs under it. Yeah, the front one doesn't have it because it's like a traditional hood.
Yeah.
I've never opened this yet. That's the first time.
Wow. Oh, that's not much space at all.
This was not in my last one.
You got a repair kit.
This did not exist in my original one.
You even have a jack.
It's got a
See,
jack.
This surprises me because
This is different too than mine.
This doesn't have a spare tire.
No spare.
Why does it have a jack?
Because of the repair kit, if you want to jack the car up to take the wheel off to take it to go fix, to get it fixed, or you've got the repair kit that you put the stuff in it.
That surprises me.
Yeah.
So look, in this design, oh, you can close it.
And the 12-volt battery is under here, as I found out. My car, the last
yeah.
one, I did have one issue with the old one. But then you give it a little.
So interesting. The fender line on these now, the hood now flows over to this line. So the catwalk, which is what they call this term in car design, the catwalk is now part of the hood. So your part line breaks here and picks up the line for the body line edge here, which is a nice little design feature. It also makes your fender smaller. So if your front end is damaged and the fender has to be replaced, it's not an expensive part. So this is a smaller, less expensive part of the car. Unfortunately, most contemporary cars with the sensors and all that stuff, it's so expensive. If this stuff is damaged, very expensive. If your front bumper, if you have front impact and this is damaged, the hood is designed to pop up, but this giant hood here, you can't fix it. You'd have to replace it. You'd have to replace this. You'd have to replace this. So a 30-mile-an-hour impact for a car like this is going to be $6,000.
Yeah.
$7,000 maybe.
So we have a couple of comments real quick. Adam likes the rims.
Yeah, those are nice wheels.
Local Walmart in Portland or in Oregon, Dan says has no overnight parking signs.
Oh,
Yeah.
They'd encourage that. All
Yeah.
right.
That car is a chick magnet for sure. You mean it's a chick car though? Because that's what I always said about. And yes, there's enough room to store a body in that back. Would a passing cat or dog open the rear hatch? That's so funny. Dan said yes.
Yeah.
Only if I'm near it though. You have to be near it with the key for
Yeah.
it to work.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll also go to charge it, and the charging port is your standard port here.
Yep.
And then you've got your CSS, the big one, which is right over there.
That's the speedier one, right?
That's a super fast one.
Yep.
In about 30 minutes, you get 80% charge.
That's fast.
Yeah. And one of the upgrades they did is they put a little weather boot here.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't on it. People were 3D printing those and selling them online. So that helps it if you're in a weather area. And what happens, my charging cable in my garage is here. So sometimes I'll bring it across and I'll go to plug in and the cable will go under and it'll trigger that.
And I got
it'll pop open.
it'll pop open. And I got a question for you. It's the end of April. It's almost May. Why is it so freaking cold?
I know, it is freezing right now. We're going to get back in the car and end the show in there. The other thing that's great about this car, it's got a great app. And the app allows you to...
Oh, app. I thought you said that's a great app.
It does have a great ass, too. It's got a great app.
Okay.
That allows you to... Let me switch the camera back to us. There we go.
They're freezing.
I know, it's really cold. It's got a great app that allows me to schedule charging if I want to.
Yep.
So I can plug it in and then tell it to charge at a certain time. Like if you live in an area where charging overnight's cheaper. Here it's not. A lot of major cities, they have metered, they have different times. It also can turn the air or heat on ahead of time.
That's nice.
Which I did this morning because I did park it outside last night.
You turned the heat on.
So the heat's already on. Well, here, let's get some.
Oh, now can you change that so that it looks like your car?
No, that's what's weird is
We're looking at the picture on the touch
it's a
screen. That's
black
got
one.
a black one.
But what's weird is like on the
It's white on
the
the
3D
the
camera,
views. Yeah,
it was white, and it was white in my other car.
yeah. That.
So now I just want to buy it to match.
There you go.
But like if you look at this, when you see that one's white.
Yeah.
It's got the 3D picture.
I'm still vexed at how they can do this.
I know.
I mean, they're getting the view from the top.
Right. But
That's
it's just the front camera, the rear camera, just
Yeah.
change it. It's where the coloring is off. I don't know why
Yeah.
that is.
Well, they're giving you the span. That's your.
Right, but in my old one, the ground was always the same color.
What happens if you move? It moves with it.
It moves with it.
Yeah. So they're changing the color to show that.
It's basically there's that
Yeah.
camera, there's that camera,
Right. And
Here's
then
the
it's
front.
stitching.
but the front is this shot. How
Yeah.
it's getting to that shot, I don't know.
That's a really good question.
And the rear is this shot.
Yeah.
So it's a totally different shot.
Yeah.
You can't see what we're doing.
Very interesting.
Adam says, does it have a nice sound system?
It does. Harman Kardon.
Yeah.
Quite good. It's multiple speakers throughout the car. Some tweeters up in here and here, so you get.
I don't know if I can
surround
get.
sound. Well, you want to be careful what you play because
I know.
you know.
I don't know if you could even hear that if it picked it up or not. It comes with 3 months of Sirius XM.
And
By
that's
the way,
serious.
not to be political again, Howard Stern yesterday.
Oh,
It's
yes.
popped online live.
Yes,
Rare Friday
yeah, with
President Biden.
with Biden.
And he said more than once, this is not the guy that does the voice of Biden. This is actually
This is
President
actually
Biden. And he had an hour interview
That's great.
that was just so compassionate and talked about the loss of his wife and his daughter and his son dying from brain cancer. Just all, yeah. So
And
it's a great interview.
he said he's ready to debate with Trump.
Oh, he'll debate in a heartbeat. Yeah.
Yeah.
And after doing an hour with Howard Stern,
Yeah.
and the way he ended too, Howard goes, "I can't believe I just interviewed the president." And Joe Biden goes, "I can't believe I just hung out with Howard Stern." That was pretty cool. So I recommend if you can catch that on YouTube. I'm sure there's a lot of clips up there.
And people forget Joe Biden's been a pretty darn good president.
Well, not according to a lot of people. A lot
Well,
of people think he's been horrible. I'm like, how?
I mean, look at the economy. Look at
Howard went through all the stats.
There's so much information
Yeah.
that supports the fact that forget your politics. Just put politics aside, put the opinions aside from all of that, and ask yourself, how has your life been for the past 4 years, post-pandemic?
Yeah.
It's
Well, 4 years ago, right now, we're in the top of the pandemic.
right. And
it
who
was
got us
horrible.
out of it?
Anyway, we won't go there
We
because we
won't
could
go.
go forever. That's a whole other show. We could do.
Yes, and we don't do politics.
Again, tonight, if anybody's in the Tacoma area, I'll be at the Tacoma Comedy Club with Taylor Williamson and Joey Bragg doing a guest spot. So it's not my show. I'm probably going to do 5, 7, 8 minutes of my material just to get up there, say hi, do a quick little set. I've never been to this club. I've heard nothing but great things about Tacoma Comedy Club. They've got 2 locations. This is the one on 6th and Proctor, which I believe is their new room. They have a downtown room and a 6th and Proctor room.
Oh.
So I will be there. You going to come? No.
I don't think so.
I
I don't think I'm going to.
You
No.
can come along if you want to. You've got nothing going on.
You know what today is?
Is today your anniversary?
Yes, today's
Your anniversary and we're here?
Yes.
You didn't take the day off?
No.
Oh, Carolyn, I'm so sorry.
My 33rd.
Stainless steel, right?
No, cast iron.
Cast iron. Well, congratulations.
I'm
Happy
getting her a
anniversary.
frying pan.
33, and she's going to hit you on the head with it.
Exactly.
33 years.
33 years.
Congratulations.
Yeah. And this year, in September, it'll be 50 years that I've known her.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're only 48.
I'm only.
Adam wants to, people are just not informed or not willing to do any fact checking. Nobody wants to do fact checking. I've talked to people that are like, no, I saw it on Fox News. I go, just stop right there.
That's because beliefs are more embedding than facts. People, you cannot combat a belief. It's much harder to work against a belief, even if you have facts. And so people are less likely to suspend their beliefs in the presence of facts. So you have to convince them to alter their belief structure. And that's almost impossible.
It's why some people only drive Chevy.
Yeah.
Or some people only drive Ford.
Yeah.
Or some people never drive Hyundai.
They have
because they have embedded in them that they're crappy cars.
Yep.
And
that's
sometimes they're right.
That's predicated on their belief structure. It could be familial. Families always had Chevys. It could be.
We were a GM family my whole life.
Yeah, we were a Ford family.
See, and look, we get along.
Yes. Ebony and ivory.
GM and Ford, you see. Yeah.
All right, we've gone long.
We've gone long. It was a bonus episode. We now have to. We're stuck in Paulsboro now. We got to get home. I do have to stop at O'Reilly. I'll tell you why in a minute.
Okay.
And then we're going to get home. So thank you again for watching. If you can come to Tacoma tonight, Adam, are you coming? Bring some friends. It's going to be a great show. Also, May 22nd at BPA here on Bainbridge Island.
Yeah.
Doing two shows. We're going to film both of them.
We got to do the pre-thing there.
And we're going to do a pre-show. And we're going to show the sitcom. So if you have never seen the sitcom and you have a Wednesday night free, you want to come to Bainbridge Island, we're going to show it not once, but twice.
And will you be giving away posters?
We'll have posters there. If people want to get posters signed, it'll be great. We'll have some of the cast will be there. I'm trying to get, I know Tony will be there. I don't know if Eric will be there.
Do you want us to come in character?
No.
Okay.
No, it's better if you don't.
All right.
But I do want to do the 4th of July parade in character. Because I want to film that and have that as footage that we could use in the future.
There you go.
And Rick Springfield will actually be in town that weekend. So it's possible if we get picked up by then, we'll have him in the parade.
There you go.
Which will be huge for Bainbridge Island. Adam will try to pop into the late show. That would be awesome, Adam. It'd be good to see you. If not, we'll see you in May.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Let's play this ending thing here. Here we go. Oh, by the way, if you want to text us during the week, very simple. 610-CarYada. 610-CarYada. And here's our ending. Bye, everybody.